Post-contract question and answer. 1. Payment procedure, Subclause 14.3 IPA, Subclause 14.6 IPC, I. Contract value. E. Advance payment, Subclause 14.2, Bond and recovery of advance payment, 10%, 20%, 30%, 3. Retention amount, 5%, 10%, IV. Any amount to be added or deducted for plants and materials. V. The deduction of the amount certified in all previous payment certificates. V. Approved value of work completed based on progress, Subclause 12, 7. Approved value of work completed in agreed variation. 8. Agreed and approved claims. X. Supporting documents, RFI, MIR, and marked up drawings, X. Insurances. 11. GOSI certificate. 12. Zakat certificate. 13. Saudization certificate. 2. Types of bonds. I. Performance bond, security. The contractor shall obtain, at his cost, performance security for proper performance should follow drawings and specifications. The contractor shall deliver the performance security to the employer within 28 days after receiving LOA, letter of acceptance. 2. Advance payment bond, advance payment guarantee. This guarantee shall be issued by an entity and from within a country or approved by the employer and shall be annexed to the particular conditions or in another form approved by the employer. 3. Retention bond, Subclause 14.9. A retention bond is a bank guarantee provided by the contractor to get an early release of the retention money upon the issue of TOC, taking over certificate. 3. Advance payment, Subclause 14.2. The employer shall make an advance payment as an interest-free loan to the contractor for mobilization when the contractor submits a bank guarantee. 4. Insurances. I. Public liability insurance. E. Workmen's compensation and employees' liability insurance. 3. Professional indemnity insurance, during the design stage, for design purposes only. IV. Motor vehicle third-party and passenger liability insurance. V. Car insurance, contractor all risk. 5. Cost report is a process used to inform the client, employer or third party about the magnitude of a construction project. Predicted or actual cost includes I. Payments up to cut-off dates, how much we paid to the contractor. E. Actual work done up to date. E. Variation log. IV. Risk assessment versus executive summary. V. Forecast assumptions. V. Potential risks and opportunities. V. Commitments, awarded value. X. Change orders, approved change notices. X. Current committed, awarded value plus executed change orders. She. Pending changes, any change currently in process. She. Potential changes, any potential change that may be implemented. She. Claims, contractor change requests that have not resulted in change. XIV. Notice, order, XV. Total forecast contract value, based on a summation of the above, XVI. Disputes, any claim that has been elevated to a dispute per the contractual. XVI. Definitions, performance variance versus schedule variance. Schedule variance measures how much is behind or ahead of schedule at a given time. SV equals EVPV. V. Cost variance. Cost variance measuring actual performance to date against what's been spent. CV equals EVAC. Performance index. V. Cost performance index. It will measure whether the project is within budget or not at a given point in time. CPI equals EVAC. 8. Schedule performance index. It will measure whether the schedule is ahead or behind what was planned for a given point in time. SPI equals EVPV. Index is greater than or equal to 1 is less than or equal to 1. CPI within budget exceed budget. SPI ahead schedule behind schedule. X. Estimate at completion. Projection of expected total cost of work components, schedule activity, or project at completion, based on available data at a given point in time. OR simple words. The estimated total cost of the project is forecasted as of time. EAC equals BAC, CPI. X. Estimate to completion. Projection of expected cost of remaining work, based on available data at a given point in time. OR, estimated total cost of remaining work forecasted as of time, etc. equals EAC, AC. 11. Variance at completion. Projection of expected variance between budget at completion and estimate at completion based on available data at a given point in time. VAC equals BAC, EAC. 8. Accruals. Accruals are a form of accounting practice that can help to provide a more accurate representation of the economic condition of a project, program, or organization at the end of an accounting period or year. The accruals concept implies that revenue is recognized in the period in which it is earned, irrespective of the fact whether it is received or not during that period, in the same way expenses are recorded when they are incurred and not when they are paid. Concept of accrual. 1. Revenue recognized. 2. Expenses recorded. Example: we did some work in the year 2022 and raised IPC, interim payment certificate, and approved it, but we didn't receive the amount in the same year 2022, rather we received it in 2023. This received amount will be inserted in 2022, not in 2023. 9. Taking over certificate, TOC. 10. Retention money, subclause 14.9, accumulated money retained by the employer according to the contract. A. To encourage the contractor to rectify defects. B. To allow an employer to take remedies action and recover the cost in case of the contract's faulty or rectification. When the TOC has been issued for the works, the first half of the retention money shall be certified by the engineer for payment to the contractor. 11. Defect liability period. Once the TOC is issued, DLP, defects liability period, is started. 12. Statement at the completion. You can claim half of the retention amount if have any approved variation. 13. Performance certificate. After the end of the DLP period, the performance certificate will be issued. 14. What is a discharge letter? Subclause 14.12. When submitting the final statement, the contractor shall submit a written discharge which confirms that the total of the final statement represents the full and final settlement of all amounts of money due to the contractor under or in connection with the contract. 15. Final account closing. Subclause 14.13. Once the performance certificate is issued, you can go for the final account. In the final account, you can claim the remaining retention and if any variation amount if it is pending. Final account means claiming the all remaining amount. Subclause 14.7. The employer shall pay to the contractor, I. the first installment of the advance payment within 42 days after issuing the letter of acceptance or within 21 days after receiving the documents in accordance with Subclause 4.2 performance security and Subclause 14.2 advance payment. E. The amount certified in each interim payment is certified within 56 days after the engineer receives the statement and supporting documents. 3. The amount is certified in the final payment certificate within 56 days after the employer receives this payment certificate. 16. Provision sum. In a project, some items are not finalized, and detailed or not clear at the time of tender. In this type of situation, cost consultant may allow some money provision into the tender to cover the cost of such an item. Work to be executed, including plant, material or services to be supplied, by the contractor and value under, Subclause 13.3 Variation Procedure, provision sum will be claimed as Variation 13.3. Example from BOQs for PS items. I. Allow a provision sum of 000 for trimming, leveling, and compaction of the original ground. E. For landscaping works etc. 17. Prime cost. Details are there but the material is not decided at the time of tendering. The client may hire specialist subcontractor for this under the main contractor's supervision. Example: tiles, doors etc. 18. Contingency. Contingencies are incidental miscellaneous expenses that cannot be predicted during the estimation preparation. Generally, contingency is 3% to 5% depending on the project, location. 19. Cost-value reconciliation. CVR measures cost against value at different stages of project to evaluate. I ensures project stays under budget. E. Identifies unnecessary losses. 3. Carried out monthly wise. IV. Identifies profit or loss. If the project value higher is than cost, then the project is in profit. If the cost is higher than the value, then the project is in loss. 20. Variation procedure. What are the forms using for change management process? Versus request for change, RFC, V. Approval request form, V. Engineer's instruction, A, 8. Agreed value of instruction, AVI, X. What does it mean by RFC? RFC means request for change. This will be the initiation of change management process can be raised by any party who first identifies the change.